Welcome to GRD121, Computer Graphics for Fall 2020. I'm Professor Homa. You'll be hearing my voice a lot this semester, but I figured I'd introduce myself in person. I've taught Computer Graphics 1 for 23 years now, so this is the first time I'll be doing it online. Now the challenge we'll have online is that we're going to use alternatives to Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop. It's very expensive to have a Creative Cloud account, so I don't even have one, so it's like $20 to $40 a month. So we're going to use alternatives, and I'm okay with that. In fact, when I started teaching at Warren in 1997, I only knew how to use CorelDRAW on a PC, and it took me maybe 2 days to catch up with Illustrator. So as long as you know vector graphics, you'll be fine. For Photoshop, we'll be using something called Photopea, which is very Photoshop-like. You'll have no problem easing into Photoshop after using that. It has a lot of the same menus and commands and all that as Photoshop. So you'll even be able to work with PSD files, Photoshop files. So we'll have no problems with that, doing that online. I would like to be able to install something called Inkscape if you have the ability to do that. I know you can't always do that with a Chromebook, but if you can install Inkscape either on a Mac or PC, that would be helpful because that's a little more Illustrator-like than using the Grab It online. You'll also have a YouTube playlist for this course, which will guide you through all the demos, exercises, lectures, all that kind of stuff. So again, welcome, and here's a quick guide of MyWarren to get you up to speed if you're not used to using the MyWarren LMS.
All right, now here I am back in front of my computer. It feels better to be here than to be standing talking in front of a wall. Now when you come to the Warren homepage, you click on MyWarren. It'll open up the MyWarren LMS. It's also called e-learning, but we call it MyWarren. If you have any questions about your username or password, it's right here on this page before you log in. I'm going to log in, and when you log in, you're going to go find your course. I have a bunch of courses here that I teach, so I'm going to go and look for GRD121. Keep in mind there is a CSC121, which is programming, but this is computer graphics. And I'm going to go under students, so it looks more like you'll see it. I'm in Chrome right now on a Mac, and I think so far there's only 3 announcements here. There's like a welcome announcement, and also make sure you click here and read more because I put a lot of stuff in here, and this is important stuff, so there's a lot of things to look at. So make sure that you click on the read more and read this stuff. That's part of what you're supposed to be doing instead of being in class. So make sure you do that. And I'll go back here. There's one, finding your way through e-learning. I'm doing that right now, so I don't know if you really need to do this, but it's required to post it on there. Also, technology needs, make sure you check that out as well. I talked a little bit about that in this video. You can check that out as well if you have any interest in the CARES Act, if you need to get a computer, anything like that. That information's here. There's a link for that information. So those are the announcements. Check them often and please read them. Make sure you do the read more and read them. I'll also send emails and copy the announcements so that I contact you both ways. You get an email and you also check out the announcement if you're not someone who checks out the announcements all the time. Just moving down here just real quick. Course info, picture of me. I'll have office hours posted as soon as I know what the schedule is going to be like. Under syllabus, I don't have the syllabus posted yet. That'll be posted within a day or two, and we won't have any Cengage materials there, so you won't have anything there. You just have the syllabus. It'll be in PDF format, so look for that in a couple of days. Under coursework, this is where we'll actually do our assignments, and I don't have anything here yet. I wanted to make sure I had the dates correct, so I have all the dates set up for each week throughout the semester. So what you'll do is you'll click here, and when there's an assignment, you'll see it, that it'll be open, and I'll go through that when we have our first assignment on exactly what to do and how to upload assignments and all that. That's coursework. Discussion board. We have a discussion board. We are going to use it because it is an online class. You'll do a student introduction for the first week, which I'll explain to you what to do, and I'll give you instructions for that. And then also throughout the weeks for Unit 2 and then all the way through Unit 15, we'll have some kind of discussion post where you'll have to kind of comment on something, or whether it's on something that we read about or talked about or did during a lab assignment or whatever it is. Discussion topics will be posted later as we go on through the semester. Also, documents and resources. This is where we post everything. First of all, let me just point out, there's handouts and there's bookmarks. Handouts is where you're going to have like PDF files, like notes and things like that. This stuff is under handouts. This is kind of required to have your student e-learning tutorial. You don't need that since I'm doing this right now. A netiquette statement, you could check out the netiquette statement. Now, if it's a PDF, you should be able to just click on it. And if you're in Chrome, it should just open up. So that's why I put PDFs in here, because they're just easier to access. So make sure you read the netiquette statement. Maybe I'll put it in a quiz or something. And then also finding your way through e-learning. I don't know if you really need that either since I'm doing this for you. And then we're also going to have something called bookmarks, and those are links. So that's where you're going to have links to things like Photopea and Gravit Online and where to download Inkscape if we do that, and reading assignments and all kinds of things like that, and videos and YouTube videos that I post and all that. That'll all be under bookmarks. So just keep in mind that documents and resources will have two parts. Handouts are the physical notes, and bookmarks are links to things where you'll go to websites. Under Gradebook, once you get some grades in here, you'll see your grades. Keep in mind, if it's a uploaded assignment and it didn't close out, it's going to stay open, so it won't count as a 0 yet. Just keep that in mind, because I've had other classes where if people don't do assignments, it doesn't factor in as a 0, because I try to leave it open to give you as much time as possible to work on it. And some people look at their grade and they're like, oh, I got a B. And it's only because it didn't count all the ones they didn't do. And then once they close out, then they find out they have an F. So don't do that. Just keep up with your work and you'll be fine. So you could check that out in Gradebook. If you have any questions, you can let me know. Attendance, I won't be checking attendance in here, but let me point this out. We'll be using the discussion board as your attendance. So make sure you do that, even if you're like someone who doesn't like to do the discussion board, or you think, oh, it's only 10 points or whatever. That's your attendance. So make sure you do the discussion board. And course calendar, I don't really do much in there, so that's pretty much it. So I don't have to do a lot here. I'll go over more of it when it's time to upload an assignment, but that's basically MyWarren if you're new to it.